So we last, excuse me, talked about Bacon's Rebellion, and now I'm going to switch gears into the Puritans, and I'm going to kind of just go over some things briefly here, and then I'm going to do a next set of lectures for the section on kind of colonial culture, okay, um, that I'm just going to incorporate into this section of the class. But so we know in 1620 that the Puritans left England and landed on Plymouth Rock, and we know the famous Mayflower stories. Actually, I'm going to go back here for a second. And just to say, I mean, many Americans and their family have kind of legends about that they're descendants of from the Mayflower. And I say legend because most don't have proof. But it's interesting. My great grandma claimed that we have descendants from the Mayflower in this group. And in fact, my great grandpa was a Baptist minister with much of the same views of the Puritans, and my great grandmother, and he was from Maine. So it's possible. But again, certainly, I think for the earlier, more conservative white Protestant Americans, this group of people, as in a sense the founding colonists, at least in the imagination, is kind of something that was really compelling and something to be proud of in the early days. And now, with more and more people of different backgrounds, that kind of celebration, I think, is more muted. And as we're becoming less and less of a well, I shouldn't say that we're less religious of a society. Actually, in certain parts, Americans are much more religious than, let's say, many Europeans. But it's interesting to see how the shift has went from kind of like focusing on the Puritans and the early, Mayflower in a significant way, and now it's a little bit more muted. And that's just something that you just kind of notice with time as values and different things change. That was just a quick thought on that. Although there was also the myth, of this one-time harmonious pilgrim with the Native American. And while that was true, maybe in certain pockets, as I've talked about, we know that there's really another story to it. I'm only going to show a brief clip of this because I thought you'd find it entertaining. But here is Hollywood with the Addams family betraying Thanksgiving and then putting a little spin on it. I just thought I would show you.
I am so glad we invited the Chippewas to join us for this holiday meal. Remember, these savages are our guests. We must not be surprised at any of their strange customs. After all, they have not had our advantages, such as fine schools, libraries full of books, shampoo. How? I am Pocahontas, a Chippewa maiden.
Indian. Enough said.
And I am Running Bear, betrothed to Pocahontas. In the play.
20 grand for summer camp. He's Mr. Woo Woo.
We have brought a special gift for this holiday feast. I am a turkey. Kill me. What a thoughtful gift. Why, you are as civilized as we, except we wear shoes and have last names. Welcome to our table, our new primitive friends. Thank you, Sarah Miller. You're the most beautiful person I've ever seen. Your hair is the color of the sun. Your skin is like fresh milk. And everyone loves you. Stop! Sit. Wait. What? We cannot break bread with you. Huh? Becky, what's going on? Wednesday! You have taken the land which is rightfully ours. Years from now, my people will be forced to live in mobile homes, on reservations. Your people will wear cardigans and drink highballs. We will sell our bracelets by the roadsides. You will play golf and enjoy hot hors d'oeuvres. My people will have pain and degradation. Your people will have stick shifts. The gods of my tribe have spoken. They have said, do not trust the pilgrims, especially Sarah Miller. Gary, she's changing the words. And for all these reasons, I've decided to scalp you and burn your village to the ground.
Okay, so I think why did I actually show you this? Because I think in a certain sense, while I don't always like Hollywood's work with historical films, as you hear me complaining about, this does kind of actually, in a sense, poke fun at something that I was kind of just addressing earlier, which is that the legacy of these stories of the Pilgrims with the Native Americans is something that fit a very white Protestant world, like the way that this film portrays, as something very pristine, and maybe not being as politically incorrect as some of the ways that it was being portrayed in the film, but you know, for her to then take the voice of the Native American to then shift the whole story into something kind of ugly is made kind of humorous, but at the same time, this is what I want you to take out of this class, is that for Native Americans, these kind of stories are obviously different. Plymouth Rock and the Pilgrims represent really the beginning of an end of their civilization. And so, but then I also know a lot of Native Americans who are very conservative, patriotic Americans. So I don't want to pin anybody down. I'm merely pointing out, though, that we should be able to start looking at history through these different lenses. Okay, so that's why I just thought I would show you that. All right, the Mayflower Compact. Basically, I just thought I would read part of this here to you. It says, "In the name of God, amen, we whose names are underwritten, the loyal subjects of our dread sovereign Lord, King James, by the grace of God of Great Britain, France, and Ireland King, defender of faith, etc., have undertaken for the glory of God and advancement of the Christian faith and honor of our King and country a voyage to plant the first colony of the northern parts of Virginia. Do by these presents solemnly and mutually in the presence of God and of one another, covenant and combined ourselves together into a civil body politic for a better ordering and preservation and furtherance of the ends aforesaid." You might notice that there's a little different bit of spelling and use of language here going on, right? But I kind of just wanted you to see the actual, hear some of the words of the primary text of these pilgrims. Yes, very religious. Now, just to quickly go down through some of the colonies, and I'm not going to cover too much. I just, unlike high school where I told you you'd have to do cutouts and memorize all the 13 colonies, I just want to just point out a few things about them. One, we see New Jersey, originally settled by the Dutch, but seized by the English. So, again, there were other European settlers. England's going to get a foothold ahead of the game. Massachusetts, founded as 2 colonies, settled by Pilgrims, and then by Puritans. They were united, and then we're seeing that that's the origins of that area. New Hampshire, originally part of Maine, then a colony and annexed, became a separate colony again. Okay, so these things were going back and forth. Pennsylvania, originally settled by Dutch and Swedes, and then came under English control in 1648. New York was founded as New Netherland by Dutch West India Company, and then seized by the English. You see where this is going? Okay, right? So Delaware, there were Swedes and Dutch, then the English step in. Okay, so this is the kind of situation where you had many different European settlers coming in, but the English are going to dominate, as we know, as I'm talking to you in English now. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say on this section, and then I'm going to go into the culture